Hello, back home and baking. So I got another one to bake. What is going on with my lens? So Tom's brother and sister-in-law that were here with us a couple of weeks ago are coming back today to spend the night. They're going to cook us dinner. She's gluten-free, so it's hard for me to, nothing in my house conforms. So anyways, this is the loaf I baked this morning, and it's the first bake after my starters were in the fridge for 12 days. So they usually don't rise as much when they've been resting that long. So it's not a huge loaf by any means, but it's not bad. So I've got one more loaf to bake, so I'll show you that. And I've got one going right here. Ooh, I forgot to do the stretch and fold. I'll do that right now. Okay, so I've got one going. So I have to do this. A little behind on doing that. And this is just a single loaf here. My neighbor has asked me for a loaf, so I'm experimenting. I have till Friday next week. And the best loaf he'll get. I did sell two loaves to a lady before we left on vacation. And she hasn't reordered, but I don't know that she's someone that lives here or is seasonal. So she might have gone home already. Hopefully she liked my bread, but anyways, this one is just going through the stretch and folds. Just hang on. So I'll put this one to the side. And so it sat for about an hour and 15 minutes before I started the stretch and folds. And now I'm going to do coil folds going forward. I'm really finding the coil folds really help give it the... So there's little blisters on here. You see the little blisters? That means that your dough fermented properly. And a nice crisp crust that you get from a properly fermented. So the method that I'm doing now, the timing, where I feed my starter at night and then I make my dough in the morning, where I get to watch the bulk fermentation and then do the cold proof overnight, is working. My dough is perfect because I get to watch the fermentation and not have it underproof or overproof. I get it just right. It's the Goldilocks of breads. You know what I mean? So putting this to the side, and I'll coil fold that. That's hard to say. They should be leaving in about 40 minutes to come here. I vacuumed. I just got to wash the floors. I've done the bathrooms. I've done laundry. It's been a busy morning. So now, this was cold proofing in the fridge all night. And now I'm going to stir it and get it ready for baking. So that's how it looks when it comes out of the banneton. Is this on? Yes, sorry. And now I'm going to score it. So cover it with rice flour. And like I said, this is the first bake after Fred and Lillian rested. We're asleep in the fridge. So going to do the decorative scoring first. Can you guys see? Is this thing on? Okay. So I'm not Joe decorator. I don't need, it's bread. Who cares? It tastes good. But I did give it a go. You know, why not? and then the big one. And I'm going to score it after 7 minutes too. So just hang on, I'm putting it in the oven. I put it in a Dutch oven that's been preheating with the lid on, but I put a few things of ice in it as well, just to give it the steam that it needs. So anyways, the ride home was hard. I was hurting and my spirit was a little down. But I've had a couple of very good conversations with my husband. And yeah, things are looking up, hopefully. We'll see. Roller coaster. But anyways, I gotta wash the floors. I'll show you the loaf when it comes out. So I just love where we live. As you guys know, you guys all obviously see that I'm happiest when I'm in the shoe swap. But, you know, Mexico we're not as active in Mexico as we are here. So I think it's run its course. We're probably going to do this season and then list our place. So if anyone is interested in my beautiful casa in Mexico, in Mazatlan, and living that lifestyle, we'll see how this year goes, but we think we might sell it the end of this month, or the end of this season, winter season. I'll let you guys know. You'll be the first to know, because I will list it on here, of course. But this area is awesome. I buy my eggs from a gentleman down the street, and they're delicious. He uses moringa, garlic, fermented grain or something like that, wheat, and that's what he feeds his chickens. And so they're very healthy. So the eggs have the moringa in it, and if you're not familiar with moringa, oh, there's my bread, just hang on. Okay, this one looks good. So I did go over to the neighbor and said, I have a loaf of bread if you want. And his kids were like, what? Oh no, we're leaving today. Oh, I just looked like my sister. We wanted some of your bread. Woo! But anyways, he gets this loaf. Just hang on. Okay, now if you can see all that blistering? That's a good loaf. And it expanded. I didn't get much of an ear. I don't know why. And my design. Anyways, it's a magical loaf. So he gets that, and that's what it looks on the bottom. And Tom bought me a new knife for cutting. It was here when we got back on our tramp. It's the offset blade. He got it on Amazon. It is a Hummingbird. And it was rated very high on Amazon. So I need to get one of those link things, Linktree or whatever. Easier to cut because your hand doesn't get to the breadboard, you know what I mean? So anyways, my neighbor will get this loaf. I'll let it cool for an hour, and my in-laws are on their way. So anyways, that's it. That's my day. Entertaining guests today. They're cooking for us. Oh, I get the eggs from this guy down the street, but he also sells chickens. So we bought a huge freaking 10-pound chicken, 8-pound chicken yesterday that's fed the same stuff, of course, as the laying hens. So it's very, very good for you. And we bought this potato squash. So you cut it in half and bake it, open bake it, and scoop it out and mash it, and it's like mashed potatoes. So it's a squash, but it tastes like mashed potatoes. You put a little garlic, a little butter, and it's delicious. We've had them before. So if you're gluten-free or watching your carbs, this is potato squash. Peace out, motherfuckers.